Gauteng residents are facing tighter water restrictions amidst supply concerns. Level 1 water restrictions are effective immediately. Meanwhile, a moratorium has also been placed on irrigating public facilities until March next year. Rand Water is warning of a crisis if municipalities don't restrict water usage and if financial management doesn't improve. Currently, the municipalities owe the utility more than 5 billion rand. As we continue with this discussion, Gauteng government officials have also scheduled a Gauteng Imbizo to avert a looming crisis. Theo Nkonki is the spokesperson for the Gauteng MEC for Infrastructure Development, as well as Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. Theo, a pleasure to have you on the program. Despite the circumstances, I must say, can you elaborate on the immediate steps being taken by the Gauteng government in response to this water shortage concern? What are the key goals of this upcoming Gauteng Imbizo?
Good afternoon, Nhlanhla, and good afternoon to the viewers. The Gauteng Imbizo was held on Friday this week, this past Friday, where we had all the municipalities attend because we believe that we should act urgently in making sure that we deal with water security in the province. As you would have mentioned in your intro, there's a huge problem with illegal connections, the high consumption by households, illegal mining, and obviously the issues of credit management as well, that municipalities are not paying Rand Water in time. That puts pressure on the utility, so it can't really replenish its and maintain its infrastructure. So we held the Imbizo on Friday in Ekurhuleni, and we were quite overwhelmed by the participation of the councillors as well, and the solutions that they offered in averting this crisis. It's not yet at a crisis level. We are saying that we shouldn't wait until it is a crisis. Let's be proactive. Let's work together with the municipalities and the National Department of Water and Sanitation to make sure that we avert any crisis that may be looming. You know that it is a warm season now, and we do anticipate that people will be using water much more than in the colder seasons. So we are really calling on everyone to work together with Rand Water. So the municipalities, national, provincial, we must all work together to make sure that we avoid what you would have had in Cape Town a few years ago, a day zero that was looming. We are not there yet, but we are saying that we can't sit and not attend to this, what could be a looming crisis.
It's interesting that you call it a looming crisis, Theo, but given the current situation in Johannesburg, for instance, and the emergency talks scheduled with Rand Water, what are the primary factors which are contributing to this looming water shortage in Pretoria, for instance?
So the big challenge really is infrastructure. Rand Water and municipalities lose a lot of water through the distribution pipes. So that's the major concern. And if we don't deal with that, we might find ourselves in trouble. But also the usage of water by households as well. We are extremely high compared to the world or the global standard. We are extremely high, even compared to the national standard. We are extremely high in Gauteng. People are using way too much water than they should, especially fresh water. So we are saying that we are supporting the level 1 water restriction by Rand Water because we believe it's proactive. And that means that households shouldn't irrigate their lawns after 8 a.m. in the morning. So they should do it before 8 a.m. and in the evening they should do it when the sun is out of the way. So we think that what could be, and I'm saying this, Nhlanhla, what could be a crisis can be averted by proactive action and working together with business as well, and municipalities, making sure that people pay for their bills, their water bills from Rand Water. That way, we believe that we can avert a looming crisis if there is.
But it then begs the question as to how is the Gauteng government working with Rand Water to indeed address the infrastructure challenges that you speak of, such as the aging pipelines and also power outages affecting some of these plants. It really is exacerbating these water supply issues in the province.
I'm sure you would have heard the Premier in the State of the Province address. His emphasis was really on leaving no one behind. And that is the principle that we as COCTA, which is the department that coordinates different spheres of government, we are taking that seriously. So we want to work with municipalities. For instance, the Indaba came out of an engagement that happens weekly with the municipalities. We have said to ourselves, the problem is it needs our urgent intervention and we need to act now. That's why we are meeting on a weekly basis with all municipalities to make sure that we understand where the crisis, because there are areas where there's no water in Gauteng, and we can't deal with those without having a very coordinated and integrated approach. So leaving it to the municipality on its own won't assist us. So us as COCTA, working with National as well, we need to be very much proactive. And that's why I'm so pleased with the Indaba that we held on Friday, because the solutions are there. And people, the buy-in from the councillors, the ward councillors, whom we think are the primary spokespeople for the government to local communities, the buy-in was quite overwhelming. And we believe that if we work together and we pull together as a unit, as a Gauteng, we will be able to save water. The infrastructure issues are quite complex in that, as you know, the AG has made an announcement with regards to how municipalities are performing. Now, the issues of financial management within municipalities, issues of staffing, then become quite critical in resolving any of the issues. As COCTA, we are providing full support to the municipalities, and we want to ramp that up. And that's why we work much more closer with them than we had in previous time.
Mr. Nkonki, let me thank you so much for your time. That's Theo Nkonki joining us today to provide such valuable insights into the Gauteng government's efforts to tackle the looming water crisis, or at least that's how it's being described at the moment.